In this video, I'm going to react to The Ocean is Way Deeper Than You Think. Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Kabir Considers. This is the place where I react to music, media, sports, anime, anything related to popular culture. I'll watch it with an open mind and give you my 100% honest reaction to it. And if you could please hit that like button early, I'd really appreciate it. Now, this video is definitely something that I could watch in my spare time. It's these kind of curious questions that really pique my interest, like how deep is the ocean? How high is Mount Everest? I mean, we know how high Everest is, but I mean, what does it actually feel like to climb it? Just questions like that really pique my curiosity. The ocean is something that, from what I've heard, we still don't know what's at the bottom of most oceans, literally. Like, it could be full of just mysterious creatures. I think that we're still discovering, because I think when you go to a certain depth of the ocean, the pressure, the pressure is just so great that most living things just can't withstand it. They just be instantly crushed. So just, seeing what's under there would be really great if one day we had the technology. I think certain submarines, I'm not sure if they can get to the bottom, they might be able to get to close to it. But I'm sure this video, because it's from real life lore, and he does a tremendous job in just breaking down these quite complex topics and just making them really digestible and, and enjoyable as well for the viewer. So let's go. This is going to be me reacting to The Ocean is Way Deeper Than We Think. Let's do it.
The ocean is really deep. Deeper, in fact, than most of us realize. If you were to shave off all of the land from the tops of every continent and island in the world and fill up the ocean's deepest points with that land, then the entire Earth would be covered in an ocean 2 miles deep.
Wow.
3/4 of our planet is already covered in water, though, and it goes a lot deeper than just 2 miles. Let's start with a sense of scale. This dot right here is the size of an average human. This slightly larger dot is the size of an elephant, and this is the size of the largest ship ever built, the Knock Nevis. With that in mind, let's start going underwater and see what we find out. The first milestone is at 40 meters below the surface, which is the maximum depth allowed for recreational scuba diving.
Really? I would have assumed that the depth would be a bit lower than that, or quite a bit lower than that. 40 meters. But then again, I'm sure that this is probably based on some science. Maybe the human body, if it goes any deeper than that, bad things start to happen to it. Like, let me know, anybody who's done scuba diving, let me know why it's 40 meters.
A little further down at 93 meters is where the wreck of the Lusitania was discovered, which is interesting because the Lusitania itself is 240 meters long, which means that it sank in water shallower than it is long, so if the ship was standing on its stern or bow, it would be sticking out of the water.
Yeah.
Just slightly deeper than that at 100 meters is where diving can become seriously fatal if you're not careful because of decompression sickness. But that didn't stop a man named Herbert Nitsch to accomplish the free diving world record at a depth of 214 meters. This guy swam down to this level with just one single breath. But a little further down at 332 meters, we have the scuba.
How did he hold his breath for that long? That is incredible.
Diving world record, which was accomplished by another man named Ahmed Gabir. If he had swam down another 111 meters, then he would have reached the height of the Empire State Building if it was submerged underwater. And a little further than that, at 500 meters below the surface, we arrive at the maximum dive depth of blue whales, the largest creatures on the planet and also the limit of the US Seawolf class nuclear submarine. At 535 meters, we can witness the maximum dive depth of emperor penguins, and this is when we must bring up the intensity of water pressure. At this level below the surface, the water pressure exerted on a person or the penguins would be roughly equivalent to a polar bear standing on a quarter. So further down the depths, at 830 meters, would be the height of the Burj Khalifa in Dubai, the tallest building in the world. Once we hit 1,000 meters below the surface, we begin to enter the scary zone.
Yeah, it's even getting darker here, because I imagine the light from the sun, it can only get so far. You'd have to have some kind of maybe infrared or I don't know what kind of, maybe night vision goggles, but are they waterproof? I don't know.
Light from the surface can no longer reach beyond this point, so the rest of the ocean below is shrouded in permanent darkness. On top of that, the water pressure you would experience at this point would be about the same as if you were standing on the surface of the planet Venus, meaning that you would die very quickly. You would also meet the giant squid at this sea level if the water pressure didn't already kill you. At 1,280 meters, we reach the maximum depth dived to by the leatherback sea turtle, and further down at 1,828 meters, we would reach the deepest part of the Grand Canyon were it to be underwater with us. Down at 2,000 meters, we start to encounter some of the more terrifying sea creatures, like the ominously named black dragonfish, a carnivorous beast with a stomach that doesn't allow light to be emitted through it.
What?
Meaning that since we're in total darkness underwater at this point, the only way you would ever see this thing is with a flashlight. A little further down...
He actually got me to jump.
At 2,250 meters, we would reach the maximum depth dived to by both sperm whales and the very frightening colossal squid. Sperm whales often have sucker marks and scars left on their bodies from battles with the colossal squid that likely take place at these incredible depths. The squids themselves can grow to be 14 meters long and weigh up to 750 kilograms with eyes the size of a dinner plate and razor-sharp sickles in the middle of their tentacles. So yeah, good luck with that down there.
No thanks.
Way further down at 3,800 meters, we can find the wreck of the RMS Titanic. And a bit past that, at 4,000 meters, we start to enter the abyssal zone of the ocean. Water pressure is at an astonishing 11,000 pounds per square inch down here, and there are numerous strange, almost alien-like creatures that inhabit these depths, such as the fangtooth, anglerfish, and viperfish.
Jeez.
Down at 4,267 meters is the average depth of the ocean where you would normally expect to hit the floor, but there are parts of the ocean that go significantly deeper than even this.
Yeah, the Mariana Trench, I think that's the deepest. I think that's the deepest part of any ocean on the planet, or something like that.
At 4,791 meters rests the wreckage of the battleship Bismarck sunk during World War II, and way down at 6,000 meters is the beginning of the Hadal Zone, named after the underworld Hades itself. The water pressure down at these depths can become 1,100 times what you would experience way back on top at the surface, which is roughly equal to an elephant balancing on a postage stamp or a single person carrying the weight of 50 Boeing 747 jumbo jets. Down at these depths, you would be crushed immediately without any outside protection, but life still exists down here in various strange forms. At 6,500 meters, we reach the maximum depth that the DSV Alvin can dive to, a popular research submarine that helped to discover the Titanic.
Is that I don't imagine that's a manned submarine, is it? That's got to be an autonomous submarine or a remote controlled one. Yeah, I doubt human beings can go in that.
Further down at 8,848 meters below the surface, and we have arrived at the height of Mount Everest, were to be upside down and placed underwater.
Insane.
And then way further past even that, at 10,898 meters, we arrive at the depth reached by James Cameron in 2012 during the Deep Sea Challenger mission.
Was he inside that?
The deepest point in the ocean yet reached by humans was back in 1960, though, when two men named Don Walsh and Jacques Piccard reached a depth of 10,916 meters using their Trieste submarine.
Wow.
It took them 5 hours to descend through the ocean to this depth, and they only stayed for 20 minutes before a window cracked and they began to resurface.
Oh my god.
Just a bit further down from there, at 10,972 meters, and we reached the average...
You know, when that window cracked, those two guys, their heart was going... At least mine would be. You think, as soon as they heard the crack, they were like...
flight altitude of a commercial airliner. So if you've ever looked out of a window while on a flight and looked down to the ground, that's a very good sense of how incredibly deep down into the abyss that we are currently at.
Wow.
Finally, when we hit 10,994 meters, we have hit the bottom of the known ocean called the Challenger Deep, right here on this map just about 300 kilometers southwest of Guam Island. However, it is believed that there are almost certainly even deeper parts of the ocean than this that just haven't been discovered yet. It wasn't until 1997, after all, that the Sirena Deep was discovered with a depth of 10,732 meters, making it the second deepest known point in the ocean. It is estimated that only about 5% of the ocean's floor has been accurately mapped,
Wow.
leaving the other 95% to be currently a mystery. It may be only a matter of time before an even deeper part of our ocean is found, and who knows what we may discover there. So thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you'd like to stay up to date with videos in the future,
That was so much fun. I mean, to think that 95% of the ocean floor is still uncharted, undiscovered, just unmapped. I mean, for all we know, this, the lost city of Atlantis might actually be real. Like literally, I think that's where Aquaman is from. Anything could be down there. It's just insane. Like, this is why, I love technology and, just hope that it continues to progress. We continue to innovate at the rapid rate that we're doing now, just because, can you imagine, if we found some other like intelligent life down there that maybe has decided to not communicate with humans or whatever. I don't know. It just, the mind is just, my mind just boggles. It's just going off in so many different directions, just thinking what could be down there. Really, really great video. Well done, Real Life Law. This was fascinating. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, turn on bell notifications, and keep throwing the recommendations my way. I know I say it all the time, but they genuinely help me out, because if I know you enjoyed watching something, I'll definitely enjoy reacting to it. So like, subscribe, turn on bell notifications, keep throwing the recommendations, and I'll catch you in the next one.